welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be here as your broadcast engineer for today. Hello. We have the wonderful Nick Hunter, who is also here. Nick is a fantastic FileMaker developer. He really knows his stuff. We've had him here for many, many series. He's probably one of the best UI UX developers around, and he's really good at getting FileMaker to bend and twist out of what you would far consider FileMaker be normally capable of. There we go. I can speak English. We have
Yeah, you do.
a podcast scheduled today. We have Wednesday, which is going to be, we're doing our last day for the manipulating dates and time frames with Claris and FileMaker day 3. Thursday is going to be day 1, creating, deleting, and duplicating related records. What are we doing today?
Try to recover the people I lost yesterday. So try to find them. They're lost somewhere in the FileMaker world. So yeah, so today we can do, like you said, we can do a kind of a recap of what we have done yesterday, and try to get everybody to understand, or the most possible, to understand what's going on there. So if anybody has questions from yesterday, tell me at the moment, because did you get what I've done yesterday or nothing?
People are asking, do you get anything from yesterday, or do you want to do a full recap? Loon works. There is no demo file released yet for this.
No, today.
Yeah, it'll be released today. But if you're asking for it, right, I'll have it at the end of the stream, because that's when Nick will send it to me. Yes. That way, if he makes any changes, I don't have to constantly keep updating.
Yes, exactly.
People are saying it's complicated yet fascinating. Glad to hear a recapping. I had to miss yesterday.
Yeah, I can dive a little bit more. Okay, so the explanation is simple. All the time you want to manipulate data, you need to get that at the smallest level possible, the lowest level possible. And FileMaker is the lowest possible. It's not the record, it's the value. So, okay, let me explain that, right? In FileMaker, we have a food chain level, right? So the food chain is, first you have a file, FileMaker file, FMP12. Boom. In the file, you have tables. Okay, so that's the level below. In the table, you have fields. That's the level below, right? For each field, you have data, there are records that for each field. So you have in the table, so you have file, table, record fields, right? And then inside the fields, you have data. FileMaker call a value anything that is separated by a carriage return. So this is a value. This is a value. This is a value. So FileMaker has this. They call that a value. Okay. So this is the smallest possible. There's nothing below this, right? Nothing. That's okay. When you want to do, like I said here, manipulation, you need to get to the lowest possible. And why? And I show that many times, but I want to refresh the mind of people. This is all what you have, that the arsenal we have for values, okay? So we have a lot of arsenal. We have filter value, get value, let value, middle, right, sort, unique value, value counts, and so we have all of those things, right? And then you have custom function, right? Based on values, this one, so everything is, we have a lot of things on values. When on record, right, we have nothing really important. The record ID, nobody uses, or modification count, nobody uses. So we have nothing. On record, we have nothing. Okay. So at that level, on the calc level, at the calc level, for records, we have absolutely nothing. At the contrary, on the record level, we have our friend, the relationship. This is where we deal with records, right? But we don't have a lot of freedom here. This is what we have, right? This is what we have. So on the value, we have a lot of things. On the record, we have less things, right? On the record, we have less flexibility. So when you want to get something done and you have a complex interaction, you need to slice everything. You need to don't try to get straight to the point, having one calculation that gets everything. That won't work. The example that I have here is a great example it's a very great example because we have let me present this differently. Okay. This example here, okay, it's a great example because we can do many things. So let me change this to enlightenment because I don't like this. Okay. So here what we want to do, okay, we want to get the finality is to get a date. Okay, this is our final, to get a date. But we have a lot of criteria to get a date, right? The first criteria we have, so let me open a new window here. The first criteria we have the month, right? Then so we start with a month. That's the first thing we have. We start with a month. Then we need a week. So the date we want will be within that month, within that week, for that day, right? And I want that, right? I want that to be every, the recurrence, right? I want that to be biannual, quarterly, monthly. That means twice a year, 4 times a year, 12 times a year, every month, right? So we have, this is all the chain we have, all the events we have here within this month, for that week, for that day, and every X month, okay? When you have something like this, trying to have one calc that gets you straight to the dates, it's impossible. It won't work. Sorry, it won't work. It's impossible. Don't even try it. And this technique is good for everything. When you have something complex like this, help yourself. So first, the first thing I need to get the month number, okay? So for that, I show you the technique. It's very cool. It's very simple. I have a list of values, with the month of the year that is not going to change anytime soon. So we can rely on this, right? And then we have a custom function here that I can show you, right? That is a get value position that is good for everything. That custom function that I created is going to get you the position within the value, within the list of value, as going to get the position of that specific value. March is in position number 3. So it's the first month of the week, right? I could do the same, for this, for example. Like if I want to know, the day number, day number, for example, if I want to know that, right? It's a number, right? And it's very simple. What I do, okay, Okay, what's the name of the value list? I don't remember. Value list, because I need the name of the values. Okay, so yeah. Knowing that FileMaker starts, the day of the week on Sunday. Okay, that's FileMaker, right? FileMaker start day one, FileMaker is Sunday, it's not Monday. So I want that value list. Okay, so I'm going to do the day number will be the get value position of the day within the value list item. That name is this. So thanks to this now, I can add here, I can have the day number. Okay. So Monday is day 2 and Sunday is day 1. Okay. Because FileMaker works like this. Okay. So it's simple, right? So I have my day number, my month number using that technique. So you can use that technique for everything. It's not just for month. You can use that technique for everything. So I have the week, the day, I have everything. So everything there. So now I need to start something. First, okay, I need to get out of this, I need to get the week. I need to get the range from all the fourth week of March. So I need to get that. So that's why we have here this week range here, right? So I know that was complicated and stuff like this, right? But it's not that complicated, right? Because forget about the end of years and stuff like that. Forget about that. Let's start with this, Let's start with this. With the current month, current years, okay. And why we do this, right? So what do I do here, right? So it's pure logic. It's not even FileMaker. This is pure logic, right? So let's do it, okay? I get first the start, okay? And the start here, it's the day, the start will be the date, okay, of the month, month number, right? The day is 1, and the year, let's put it manually, we don't care. Oh, I can use the year here, the year. Boom. So that's my start. What will be my end? Okay? It will, because I need a month, complete month. It will be the date of the same month number plus 1. I want the first day and I want the year. Right. So what this returns. So let's see what this is returning. Okay? Okay. Start, we're good. March 1st, 2023. We're good. What end do? Right? Oh, I forgot the -1. Okay. What's end do? 23, 20, the March 21st, 31st of 2023. So I have now my start. So that I explained to you that at the beginning, right? So it's very simple. Then I'm doing, okay, that's my range. The range is the month range. Okay. It's the range start to end, right? So now if I show this, I have my range, right? I'm doing my month, right? So now what I want to do, I want to extract right, the middle values, right, of my month range, right, and the starting points, okay? I have my week number here. So I need to add my week number here, which is the week number, the field. So see the advantage of the let statements is that you put on the table everything you need. I do the start, I do the end, right? I have my range, my week number, so I have everything I need on the table, right? So I'm the middle value stuff, right? So first, how the middle value works, okay? So yeah, I can do this. The middle value will say, I'm starting from the value 1 and I want 2 values, right? So mine is a month from the 1st to the 31st. If I want the 15 and I want 2 values, or I want 5 values, this is from the 15 to the 29, to the 19, okay? 5 values, right? So I start from the position 15 and I want 5 of them, or I want 1 of them, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the 15, right? So what I want to do here is to start, right, is to have the week. But remember, I need to have, in my case, I needed to have a day additional to start a day before. But let's say I don't need that. I just want the week, perfect week. I want the perfect week, okay? So there's 7 days in 1 week. Do you agree with this? Yes. So if I multiply this by 4, by the week number, right? And I'm extracting 7, right? So I have my month range here, but yeah, because the problem is the week 4, I don't have enough. So let's save this and let's start with week 2. Okay. Right? This is what I have my week. This is week 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? This is week 2. Week 1, right? Week 2, week 3, right? But something, I forgot something here. Hold on. I don't want to think about it. What I need, I think I have a calculation. Middle range 1. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Sorry for that. I saw something wrong. Okay. To get the beginning of the week, because here doing this, I'm getting the end of the week, not the beginning of the week. You know, if I put 1 here, I'm starting on the 7th, right? I'm not starting on the 1st. I'm starting on the 7th, right? So to make this happening, to start at the beginning, because I cannot, start like this. I want to start on here. It says I'm starting on, on the 1st. Okay. So I'm saying I want to start from the beginning of my range. So I'm starting from the beginning, right? And then I want to multiply 7 days by the number of weeks. So for the first week, that's fine. I have my first week. For the second week, I have from the beginning, the second week. For 3 weeks, I have from the beginning and I have 3 weeks. But the problem is I want only, right, the latest 7 days, not more. I want my week, the last one. right? Because I'm starting always from the beginning and I'm multiplicating it by the week number. So to do so, I'm taking this, right? And I'm saying right value, because we have this, right? This, and I want 7. That's the second week. Perfect. The second week of the month start on the 8th and on the 14th. If I want the third week, start on the 15th and end on the 21st. Perfect. If I want the first one, the second, third, fourth, and 5. 5 because, 4, because we land on the 28th, right? So this is how we do the manipulation. So let me explain a little bit the right value and the middle value and stuff like that. So what the right value do? Right value said, let's say I'm taking my month here. That the last, it goes to the, you need to go, you go to the bottom. You go to the bottom of this. You go to the bottom and we'll extract how many value I want from that, from the bottom to the top. That's what right value do, right? So if I want 2 values, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Right value. If I do left value, it does exactly the opposite. It's starting from the top and extract how many values. Middle values on month range, I need to indicate from where I want to start because it's middle. So it is in the middle of this. I'm starting from here and I want 2 values, right? So I'm starting from the second and I want 2 values. Boom. Right? Included the second, right? You understand? So this is how it works. So here, I didn't want to do the thing, I'm starting from the beginning. I'm extracting the number of days I need, and I get only the last 7. That's it. And I have my week. Thanks to this, the first problem is solved. Because let's say I have the month number. Let's do this, Let's say I have the month number. I have the month number, right? Month number. And I'm putting 2 on the month number. So what's wrong here? Oh, yeah. Right? That will be, so, and let's say I want the week 2 of that month, February, March, and April, and, so I change the month, right? You understand? So the month is taking care with the date stuff. The dates function will take care of this for me, right? I change the month, right? And I change the week number, right? Here, let's say here, the week number. So if I want the first week, the second week, the third week, 4th week, and if I want to change the month, May for, April, March. So this calculation here is taking care of this, right? Of everything. And I can even change the year, right? I can change whatever I want. So I'm building my week. I put that on the field. I have this list of values available to me for each record. So that's why I am using that's why I'm using a field for that, because I'm using a record for that and a field, because for each record, I will have a different week because it's a different month. So I'm creating a record for each month. So it's logical to have the week range for that month here, right? It's logical. Okay. So do we have any questions so far?
YouTube and Twitch don't. I believe we had some on Discord, but it's having a moment. Give me a second. The range custom function works for dates, numbers, question mark.
For dates, dates and number. So I had by the way, you remember somebody asked me to do something here. So that's why I'm really encourage everybody that is using the tail recursive function to switch to a while. Why? Remember, somebody in the audience asked me to do something. Ask me to do like this. Where it is? Here. Ask me to do something like this. I have 2 timestamps here, right? Time frame timestamp, range timestamp, right? It's a new custom function of mine that you will get it. So I want the start timestamp and the end timestamp, and voila. I have a recursive function, I have a function that calculates every hours, right? From that timestamp to that timestamp, including the hours. It was impossible to get it working using tail recursive function, because tail recursive function is pretty much using a FileMaker bug that FileMaker never wanted to close because everybody was using this. So that was breaking too many, and then they never wanted to break it, to close it. But they made the while function, right? And the while function is working very well, right? So the while function here, start, end, right? And then I got my stuff, right? So I let you, in that file, you get this range timestamp. But so I have a range for many things now, so you have a range. This range here, the regular one, right? It says from our start date, okay, to end date. Boom, right? And I have another one that is interesting, right? You say how many loop you want. Every 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. You want every 15 days, for example. Okay? You can set the loop, range to the leap. Sorry, the leap. You can put the leap every 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. See, it's calculating, right? So you can play with this, right? It can be a number, you can start with 1 and go to 100, and you want every 5, right? But that including, right? Well, you know what I mean, right? Because how that FileMaker works, right? So if you want like this, every 4, every 5, right? So you can manipulate that, right? So I have many range, but the range is for numbers, and I think letters as well. range. I don't know. I never did that. A to Z. I don't think so. No. I had one that was doing this, but it's more complicated because you have the alphabet, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, so the range is for this. Yeah. Other question?
I'm not sure if this is a question per se. Um, but there's a David Angel put like a while example function of hours and seconds in Discord. I
Well, I
can
don't have
send it
Discord.
to, okay, I can
Yeah.
send it to you because I can't read this out loud. So give me a
No,
second.
no. I can. Let me bring my phone right quick. It's a little bit complicated, right, David? So yeah. So I understand the while is. I had a course on the while. I can do another one day, but it doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to. Okay. So because the while has a very peculiar way to work. Okay. First, you put whatever the timestamp is, So you declare the timestamp here. Then you declare the results. Okay. The results will be whatever this, right, is telling me, and you add a carriage return. Okay, so that's the results, right? And you say from until this and this is valid, right? Until the end timestamp is greater than the start, until the start is inferior than the end, that will work. Until this is inferior than this, that will proceed, right? But then you said, because you don't need to slice day, month, day, you don't need. Why? So I explained, because I saw what you did, David, but you don't need, because the timestamp, a timestamp field. Okay. A timestamp field, a field that is declared as a timestamp. It's smart, right? You need to know that the minimum, the lowest, the unit of a timestamp, it's a second. So if I do this, it's minus 1 second. Instead of being 8 a.m., if I subtract 1, it's 7 a.m. 59 minutes 59 seconds. Okay? The unit is a second. So if I subtract 3,600, I subtract an hour. Okay? So if I want to subtract a day, right? It's 3,600 multiplied by 24. I'm not in the right calendar. So 3,500 multiplied by 24. It's 86,400. If I subtract 86 and 400, I'm subtracting a day. It's 1 day. Look, it was 26 8 a.m. Now it's 25 8 a.m. So you don't need to subtract to say, I want the day of the timestamp and the hours of the timestamp and the minute of the time. You don't need. Just what you need to do is this, is declaring, and you can do something like this, right? You have 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, and you want to multiply it by 24. That's a day, right? And if you want 2 days, you do this, right? You understand? So it's easy to manipulate timestamps, right? Because you use hours. So let's say you want to subtract only 24, 22, so that will be until the 10 a.m. So just what you need to do is to manipulate this. So that's why, in my case, I just need to declare that I want to subtract, I want the while to work every hours, right? But if I want, for example, let's say I have I don't know, 8 hours, for example. I want every 8 hours, right? And I want to use my range like this, right? I want to use this. So, and I can have, right, a new custom function, for example, right? I can duplicate this and I call it true, right? So that is how FileMaker does. So, and I add the leap, add the leap. And this will be multiplied by the leap, right? So we can do this to ensure. So now I have a new function, right? I have the 2, and I can say every 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, every 8 hours, right? You understand? So you can do whatever you want, If I want every 2 hours, 8, 10, 12, 2, it's working. And it take care of the PM, AM for me, right? And it's take care, and it will get to the next day automatically. So because FileMaker, for everything is like this, and you can play with time like this too, it's the time, because the timestamp is a combination of two things. It's the combination of the date and the day and the time. So the unit is the time unit, which is the second, that's the lowest. When we use dates, when you use a date, so this is a date, the units, right? The unit is a day, right? So if you want, you understand, right? The unit is but the date, we have problems because we have some time, if you want to extract a month on a date, you cannot do this because it's not true, right? It could be minus 30, it could be minus 28. You understand? So you need to use the date function to subtract the month. We have a date function, right? And we get the month of the date, the day of the date, and the year of the date. And now I can do all the manipulation I want. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4, and see, it's going down, see? It was the April 1st, 2021. I subtract 1 month. It's March 2021. I subtract 2. It's February. I subtract 3. It's January. And if I subtract 4, it's December of the year before. Thanks to the date function, it knows that it need to downgrade the year as well, right? And we can do the same with days, right? If I remove 200 days, I'm going back down the 2020. And if I'm adding 600 days, I'm going to 2022, right? Same for the years. I can extract years right? No, 3 years, 4 years, So so you need to dissect the dates like this, and then you subtract segments, and you do the manipulation you want on the segments. That's what I'm doing here, right? That's what I'm doing here. I'm doing manipulation inside the date function to get all my stuff done. If I try to be smarter than FileMaker, then say, okay, I'm taking the day as a number, and I'm taking a month as a number, you will end up being, on the 13th month of a year, which it doesn't exist, right? You know what I mean? How you cannot do that. You need to use a date function that I'm trying to explain many times, right? So, David, you need to use my custom function. That's it. I built it for you. And you have a new one with the leap, which is cool, right? And you can declare the units to be whatever you want, right? Just you do a multiplication. If you want the leap here to be, if you want the day to be keeping the same hours but change the day, okay, we can do it, by the way. I can have a custom function, another one, right? So let's duplicate this and call it day. And it's not, it's 80 things. So it's 360, what did I say? 86,400. Okay. 86,400, right? So this is a new custom function. It's a day now. So I want every day, every 2 days. So let's increase the range here. So let's say I'm going to 24, right? So I have more. Maybe it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's okay. So I have a lot of things, right? But I want every 20 days, right? So now it's a day. The units is no longer this. It's always a second, but it's every 86,400 seconds, which is a day. Now you know how many seconds we have in a day, right? So you understand? So now you can do whatever you want. You no longer needs, right, to do complicated things. Just pure logic, pure mathematical logic. Sometimes So now you have, we have this. We can call it hours, right? So you have, right, the timestamp, day, hours. You have 3 custom functions here, right? And that can be useful for many people, right? Because if you want to calculate, for example, how many hours worked, and then you can use the while function to do many things out of this. You can say, oh, I want the timestamps for, let's say, for 10 days from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. and then from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. for example. You can do that, and the while function can do that for you, right? I don't want to do that right now but I can build that for you if you want. Extract, like a work time or whatever like this, right? Work days, work time, extract days, extract hours. While function can do this because we can do something like this. Look. That's the power. I'm demonstrating to you the power of the list of values. Values. Look this. Look this. I want the get value of this. I want the value 3. And I want the arrows of this. It's 8. Or I can say, this is cool. Get as time this. So now I can say pattern count this, right? So I can say, instead of get value, right? I can do because okay, let me see. Range timestamp. So here, right? Okay, I have this. So now I want, for example, I want to extract because it's every, it's every 10. Okay. So let's say I want the hour. I want the timestamp normal. Okay. Timestamp normal. Right. So, and I want to extract from here, right? What can I do? I lost my thinking here. I want to do something, but yeah, I want to get here the pattern count. No, I wonder. Yeah, I need a while function for that. I want to extract this, but let's say I want let's take the day, and I want 1. Okay. So, and I want to extract the time or the day or something, right? So you can say get as, get as time, like I said, get value on this, and I want the value 2, okay? 3, but they're all 8 a.m., right? So, but you know what I mean, right? So it's, maybe I can do this. No, I know now what I want to do. Okay. Okay, so the third value of my list is 10 a.m. The fourth is 11. The fifth is 12, right? You see what I mean? So I have a list of values, right? And I can extract and then get the time of this, right? So the while function, we can build a while function and say, okay, if the time is part of, of a range, then I can keep it. It's pretty much what I'm doing here, right? If you look at while function here, right? I'm saying if the day of week is not 1 and the day of week is not 7, that means it's not Sunday and it's not Saturday. If it's not, if it's not this and this, then I want it. Otherwise, I don't want it. That's how you ignore. So you can say the same thing. Get as time, third timestamp, and then say if it's not between this and this, don't do it. Right? That's how we can do something. I can do a while function kind of a webinar on this. Now that I have I have my week. I remember I said I want a Tuesday. Okay. I want a Tuesday. So here what I'm doing. This is what the while function is doing. Okay. I have this, I have my range. Okay, my week range. Okay. That my week range is here. So let's do this for now. So I have my week range, right? Okay. Now what the whiles do? Okay. What the while do? Get the value of this and take the first. And then he said, day name of this, right? Equal my day name. The answer is no. The answer is no. The first value on this is not a Tuesday. So the while says not that fine. I'm going to the second one. And it's still not a Tuesday. I'm going to the third one. It's not a Tuesday. I'm going to the fourth one. It's not 5. Up. Yeah, it is. It is positive. 1. That 1 is good, 0 is not. The fifth, right, works. Right? The fifth works. Okay. So now that I have this, thank you. I know which date it is. The date I need is this. From my week, I need the value 5. Because the 5 is the Tuesday. So my while function will go for every single values, boom, 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 up. I got one. I got one Tuesday. Got it. I win. I'm a winner. I have a winner. It's the 5th. Okay, so I'm getting you the 5th value. This is the one you want. Right? It's so simple. Let's change the name. I want a Monday. Boom. Okay, so is the 5? No, it's not. Is the first? No, it's not. The second? No. The third? No. Got it. The 4 is a Monday. So thank you. My date I need, it's the 4th date of my range. That's a Monday. And I can prove it to you. Day name, it's a Monday. FileMaker prove it. So it's a Monday. Thanks to the day name function, thanks to my list of value, thanks to the while function, which is not that complicated, by the way. Let me show you that. But you understand okay, it's more a logic demonstration than a FileMaker demonstration. It's like, when you want to do something like this, if you, like I said, if you want to go and to have a let statement, to do all of this at once, it's complicated. It's impossible. You need to slice it, right? So, what the while function do? So I have the while function here, right? So I'm taking as date, because the while at that point, right? The while function doesn't know what this is, This is a text field. So I need to switch. I need to make sure FileMaker will get that as a date. So I'm taking remember the left values and right values. So from my week range, I want the first value and I want the last value. When I have this, I'm saying, until this is inferior to this, do it. Until this is valid. While this is valid, do it. When it's no longer valid, stop it. That's why they call it while this works. Okay? So what I'm doing, so I'm saying, okay, I have my first date, I have my first, day and the last date, right? So I'm saying, okay, I'm taking the first date and I'm adding 1. That's why, remember, I need to start the day before, because it starts with the minimum and it add 1 at the beginning. So if I'm adding 1 as the day before, I'm going to start with the day I want. Okay? Well, he add 1. And then he said, wait a minute. The result is whatever the previous loop, the previous result was. So at the beginning, the result will be empty. But so whatever was before, right? Whatever was before. And if the day name of whatever this returns equal the, the day name here. So I should have called that day name, by the way. Let's call that day name. If the day name function of the date returns that the name is equal to this one, I want it. Otherwise, I don't. So I have a week span here, that's a week. I can't have twice the same day name in that list. So it will run this from the beginning to the end and will extract only 1 day for me, right? That's what the while function does. If the day name of whatever, it's going to do that. The first date, add 1. Is this valid? No. Okay, I won't. It goes to the second one. If that valid? No. Okay, I don't. Okay, the third one. Is that valid? Yes. Okay, I want it. And put it on the result. That's it. That's how the while function works, right? So, I could do another, I did a while function kind of a webinar, but I can do another one if you want. Do we have any question?
Might be a good idea to do that, I think. Just
Yeah.
been like, I think a while. Hilarious. It's been a while since we've done the while function.
Yeah, it's been more than a year.
There's a conversation going on. Is this a question, you guys, or is this more of like a back and forth?
No, what the conversation topic is about.
It's about the get as number and timestamp stuff. But it
get
is
as number? Oh, yeah, but it's, as I said, okay, that we can do a demonstration of this. Okay, if I get as a number, it's good, but you see, it's not necessary. I tell you what, okay, look, get as number, the start stems. Okay, this is since the beginning of I don't know what the minimum dates in FileMaker, what it is, 1900. What the minimum dates? It was 1904. It was the beginning of the. I don't know what the minimum dates. I don't know what this will do if I say get as dates. Oh, yeah, it doesn't know. Oh, get as timestamp. Yeah, what's the timestamp 1? Okay, that's the timestamp 1, right? So what is this? Right? So how many I have? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's 63,810,000,000 seconds. They are seconds. So if you get as number, if you do this, get as number, number, and you go to this, and you subtract 1, you are subtracting pretty much 1 second. That's all what you do, because those are the number of seconds. If I say get as number a date, it's much less, because get as dates 1 is this, but this is since the first of the 0001 first, we have 700,000 days, because the unit of dates is days. The unit of timestamp is second. So you have no reason to do. If you do this and you subtract 1, or do this, it won't make any difference. You understand? Because you subtract 1. You subtract 1 unit of what it is. So you don't need to convert that in numbers. Right?
With UUID, FM doesn't use standard because V4 VUID, you can get date created, but not with FM UUID, and supposedly FM is using UUID V4. Not a question? Okay, I misread. So I think we might be good otherwise, actually.
Okay, so yeah. So tomorrow we do the deleting and creating. No?
Yes. Tomorrow we do. Well, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna.
It's a creating. Yes, that's why I was. So that would be interesting. So how to create records and stuff like that, right? So it will be
Cool. Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate everyone for coming.
No problem, and see you guys next tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!